You're listening to the Educated Cowgirl Podcast, Episode 3. Hey cowgirls and cowboys! I first want to start off by saying thank you to everyone for the amazing feedback and support you have shown me after launching my first 2 episodes. It truly means the world to me, and I could not be more grateful to all of you. It just shows me more that following my heart and the calling God has for me was the right thing to do. As I'm working on scheduling more interviews with amazing guests for future episodes, I have been thinking a lot about what I want this episode to be about. And while I had so many ideas come to mind, I thought I would come to you today to talk to you about something that I'm sure has been on all our minds lately as the days are starting to get longer and the temperatures are starting to rise a little bit. Show season. Whether you are a barrel racer, a jumper, a dressage rider, a cutter, a reiner, or whichever, the upcoming shows and rodeos have been on your mind. And with that comes setting goals and planning out steps to accomplish those goals. Well, on today's episode, I will be giving you 6 tips to remember as you prepare for your first show of the year or season. These are suggestions that I have either picked up or learned along the way. So whether it is your very first show, you're making a comeback, or the start of a whole new season, I hope you will take something away from this episode. Hey, and welcome to the Educated Cowgirl Podcast, hosted by yours truly. My name is Abby Carpenter, and I am a cowgirl and equestrian through and through. I started this podcast wanting to make more of an impact in the equine industry. That's why I am making it my mission to help promote the industry to the public through sharing my love for horses through education and bringing other experts and professionals onto the podcast with me to discuss important topics that impact the horse community. So whether you are a crazy horse lady like me, want to learn more about horses, or want to learn more about the industry, you've come to the right place. On this podcast, we will be talking about ownership, horsemanship, fitness, faith, breeds, and so much more. We believe that it doesn't matter what type of saddle you ride in or the breed of horse you may ride. We all contribute to this community to make it great, and that there is always something to learn from the back of your horse. So grab a coffee and get ready to take some notes, and let's get started. This is the Educated Cowgirl Podcast. It doesn't matter the discipline. A new show season comes with many different feelings of excitement, anticipation, nerves, whatever it may be. You name it, I have probably felt it, and I'm sure you have too, if you aren't already. So the first tip I want to share with you is to just breathe and have fun. Now, of course, we all want to win and start off the season with a bang, but unfortunately, we can't all walk away with the win. If you listened to my interview with Kelsey McNamee in the last episode, we talked about how God already has the plan written down for us. And yes, He even has the plan for your first show or rodeo written down. We have to trust Him with it. Even if it may not be what we want to have happen, He knows what is truly best. So if you don't get that buckle or place in the money, something that I would try to think about is what can you take away from that run to work on and practice for the next show? Something that can also help with the nerves is to just do your best and make a clean run. And as long as you and your horse are safe and you are having fun, it will lead to success. Number 2, use this time to ask for help where you need it. This is something I'm working on in my own riding, is learning to be brave and not be afraid to ask for help. I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I have a hard time admitting when I need help, and as hard as it may be, sometimes I know it will only help me in the long run. Asking for help can be anything from going to a clinic, scheduling more lessons, or getting advice from someone you admire or a trainer you admire that you want to learn more from, or however you choose to seek help. These things can not only make you a better rider, but it can improve how you let your horse perform better and give you more confidence as a rider. When you are a more balanced, confident rider, that can only help you get closer to the goals you want to reach. Like Kelsey also mentioned, don't be afraid to hear a no, as that will lead you to the next person that might even be a better fit for you. I recently remembered that part of our conversation, and it resonated with me again because Asking for help from each other really is how we can grow this industry together to make it better. Which leads me to tip number 3, invest in your horse community. My favorite part about show season is probably getting to see all of my friends and show family again and catching up on how we all spent our winter months and the holiday season with family. Cheering them on and supporting them is just as fun for me as the competition aspect of the whole season. To me, sportsmanship is the most important part of showing, as that is what those little kids on the sidelines and the stands or watching online see when they are watching us. It also is beneficial for the public to see how inclusive we can be as an industry when we support each other and work together. Of course, they love it when we win and they see our buckles and the glory that comes with it, and that is very exciting. But what they are really looking up to is how we treat each other outside of the arena. Remember what Mark 12:31 says, "You shall love your neighbor as yourself." This is probably one of my favorites, and I think we should all carry this verse around with us as a reminder. Number 4, look for ways out of the saddle that will help you improve your riding skills and your horse's performance level. Whether it's focusing on your workouts or trying to improve your nutritional needs, which, if I'm being honest, these are 2 things that I am personally always trying to get better at, or working on your mental health is just as important, whether that is spending time with God, talking with a therapist, or getting advice from your trainer or your support system. Having a strong mental game is just as important as your physical health as when it comes to riding your horse, as they can feel your energy and they know when you are not focused and your mind is somewhere else. I feel that being able to be balanced in both your physical and mental health can help you to visualize the success you want to see. Furthermore, one of the ways you can look into improving the fitness level of your horse is by investing in equine performance therapies that focus on conditioning your horse and increasing their stamina. If you follow me personally on social media, you know that I just started my mare on the swimming journey, which is not only exciting because it is fascinating to me to see how their bodies work with the water as they're walking on the treadmill, but it will also help to build her top line and her muscles to make her stronger in the sorting pen. You can also look into massage therapy, chiropractic work if needed, PEMF therapy, or pulse electromagnetic field therapy, or whatever you feel is best to help improve your horse's level as a performance horse, which can be just Googling or incorporating stretches after you ride or working with them more in the round pen. Number 5. Your horse always comes first. Now, this one might be the most important tip of all. Something we can all agree on in this industry is that none of this is possible without the 4-legged creatures we all love. Show season can come with many ups and downs, laughter and joy. It also comes with many miles spent on the road, time in the trailer for your horses, and hours in the saddle. So making sure that they are healthy and sound, to me, is more important than the win. A quote that I have seen online, and I am certain you have too, and I'm going to paraphrase this, but it goes something like this. No matter what happens in the run, you better make sure you pat that horse on the way out, as they kept you and themselves safe, because Lord knows they have a mind of their own and could very well change it. Making sure our horses are happy and feeling their best will only make reaching that goal or dream that much sweeter. Number 6, inspect your tack, vehicles, and other important equipment. I decided to list this tip last because it is probably the most practical one. I mentioned before that shows come with many miles on the road, as we know. So it is important that you have your tires inspected and replaced if needed on both your truck and trailer, so you don't end up with a flat on the way to the show or cause a wreck from a blowout. A couple other safety concerns that you should make sure to have checked are your lights on your truck and your trailer, and check your trailer hitch to make sure it doesn't need to be repaired or replaced. Having your truck and trailer inspected before you hit the road can give you peace of mind and take some of the stress of the show season off your shoulders. If you are someone that, like me, that things tend to slip your mind occasionally, I would set an alarm or a reminder for yourself to ensure you get these things taken care of. It is also important to inspect your tack and other horse equipment to see if you need to have a cleaning day, which for me, I find these days can be very helpful with calming my nerves for upcoming shows. And this might be a bit weird, but I actually like the smell of leather cleaner and the calmness of cleaning my saddle and bridle and inspecting it for any possible tears or looking for any areas that could cause a problem down the road. You can also check your travel kits for shows to make sure they are up to date and well stocked. From your grooming/bathing materials, your horse first aid kits are stocked with bute and gauze, bandages, etc., stocking up your personal first aid kits, and that you are well prepared for things that may come up during the season. Also, as a part of this, you can go through your show clothes and see if you are missing any items from your wardrobe that you need to have replaced, need fixed, or maybe you need to have your cowboy hat shaped, or you need your boots cleaned. I know I just gave you a lot of things to check before you hit the road, but something that helps me stay organized is writing down a list in a checklist so I can cross them off when I complete them. But however you work best to stay organized is awesome. Taking care of your vehicles, tack, and equipment can only make the shows and rodeos more fun and successful and a lot less stressful. The season can bring with it many different challenges and triumphs, but if we can look for ways that will prepare us for those moments and not cause us to panic, it will make for a fun and memorable year. To review the tips again with you one more time so they are fresh in your brain, number 1, breathe and have fun. 2, use this time to ask for help where you need it. 3, invest in your show family or horse community. Number 4, look for ways out of the saddle to improve your riding skills and your horse's performance level. Number 5, your horse always comes first. And number 6, inspect your tack, vehicles, and other important equipment are ready to go. Whether you're an amateur who travels with a trainer, you haul by yourself, or you're just getting started in this crazy life we call show season, I believe these tips will be very helpful for you to remember. Now, I'm sure you have your own tips and tricks of how you prepare to hit the road to compete, and there are probably many more I did not mention, but I hope these gave you some encouragement going into the 2023 season, or they motivated you if you have already started your season. I want to leave you with a final nugget of advice to trust in God's perfect timing, to take it one run at a time, one show at a time, and remember that it is not about being the best, but it is about doing your best. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode, and I hope these tips resonated with you. As always, you can find me on social media at The Educated Cowgirl, and don't forget to leave me a rating and review on wherever you're listening to this podcast. I wish you all nothing but the best of luck this show season. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Educated Cowgirl podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something new, and will come back for more. But for now, stay blessed and ride on, cowgirls.